Here we have a 2023 Toyota Camry TRD. This one comes in windshield pearl on black and red fabric and softex interior. Powertrain consists of a 3.5 liter naturally aspirated V6 made to an 8-speed automatic transmission, giving us 301 horsepower, 267 pound-feet of torque. Coming around in the front end here, we do get LED headlamps. Love that look there, especially with all that gloss black in the front. And it really goes good on this windshield pearl, and a really sporty lip down there as well. And then these are going to be 19-inch aluminum wheels. Love that. And even the red brake calipers, just a really nice touch. Then we have the side skirts here. Passive keyless entry on the front 2 doors. We get one-touch auto up and down windows for all 4 doors. Power door lock controls here, rear window lock, and then we can turn this knob to either side and adjust the power mirrors. And then cup holder here. I'm gonna go ahead and pop this gas cap. And then here's our power driver seat with power lumbar support. Love the TRD stitching here, and I just love the colors here. And this one also has the red seat belts, which is a really nice touch too. Well, there's a quick look at the stickers there. This car is pre-owned, but it only has 270 miles on it. It's crazy. But I have the seat up front adjusted for someone of my size, being 6'3" with longer legs, so let's see how I fit behind the seat adjusted that way. So knees are in the back of the seat, but still love how it's kind of open in here. So I can put my knees back here if I need to go on a short trip, and it still doesn't impede on the driver, so I'm not sitting here having my knees in their back. And seat back pockets on both seats, I like that. Little storage here. And then grab bars, we can hang our stuff here. Now with this one being a TRD, this seat does not fold down for cup holders. And we also can't fold that back seat flat. But that's not what this car is meant for anyway. But coming around to the back end here, love the rear diffuser. That dual exhaust sounds incredible. I just started up, it just sounded so good. And then that spoiler looks really nice too. And we can pop the trunk from the front, or we have a button down here. And then still plenty of trunk space. And then we have a jack and all that underneath this mat here. And then this one also has a cargo net. And then the front passenger seat, 6-way manual. And then glove compartment here. What are the stickers in there? No. But love the overall styling of the TRD, just how it looks so sporty. And especially with this V6, I can't wait to take it out on the road and see how it does. But let's go ahead and pop that hood. And there's that 3.5 liter naturally aspirated V6, mostly covered up. Let's make our way to the driver's seat. Now, nice leather wrap steering wheel here. I love the accents as well, how the stitching is red and the steering wheel itself is black. Then over here to the radio, we do get AM, FM, XM along with Bluetooth audio. Then we also have wired Apple CarPlay and Android Auto too. And no nav here. We can install apps. We have a Wi-Fi hotspot. And then here we have our driving info here. And then we can also go through our setup here. So whether you're wanting to pair your phone, Bluetooth, set up the audio, the Wi-Fi, the voice recognition, you can go through all of that. And volume knob here, tune knob there. Backup camera, we do get guidelines here, which I'm glad. So as you turn the steering wheel, it shows you what direction you're headed. Hazards here, vents, and then we have single zone automatic climate control. We can toggle the auto there and then adjust the fan speed to turn the auto off, and then we can use these arrows. And I like that we can go back and forth between where the air is circulated, and then defroster here, close the circulation there, and we can cut the whole system off there. But it's a little hot out today, so I'm gonna leave that on. Anyways, so USB input there. You have one USB-A, a 12-volt, little storage here, and then hidden storage underneath there. And then to shift the 8-speed, pull the lever, reverse, neutral drive, manually shift over here. And I'm so glad they did not leave the paddle shifters out behind the steering wheel as well. 3 drive modes: Eco, Normal, Sport, automatic brake hold, electronic parking brake, pull up to engage, hit the brake, press down and disengage. Cup holders there. Now the center console cubby space, pretty decent size, and then we also have a USB-A and a USB-C charge port there. And there's a view of the back seat. Love just how that black and red goes, especially with those seat belts. Really nice look. And then I like the gloss blacks, kind of got a mirror finish throughout there. And then to the left side of the steering wheel, use these 4 arrows and this OK along with this back button to go through your digital part of the gauge cluster in the middle. Bluetooth button, volume controls, voice recognition. Use this mode button to go between your radio stations, whether it's between AM, FM, or if you have Bluetooth or CarPlay set up, you can do that. And then this goes through your tracks or your radio station presets. Radar cruise control there. You hold the button and you can go between radar and just standard. And then you can turn the lane departure on as well as the forward collision. And this one does have lane tracing assist along with the steering assist, so that's nice. Headlamp controls here. High beams, flash the high beams, and then in auto mode you can turn it on. The auto high beams will come on there when this is on. And then windshield wipers, intermittent low high. One time you can adjust your intermittent here and then pull this up for the wiper fluid. Push button start. And here's the key fob. Oh, almost forgot. You get a really nice oversized sunglass pocket there. But now to the fun part, let's go ahead and take this 2023 Camry TRD out on the road for a quick test drive. So first and foremost, I love the exhaust here. It's just really sporty and throaty without being too much. Especially on a Camry, you don't want something that sounds like a, I don't know, like a tin can. So I'm really impressed by that exhaust. But even the sport mode, just really fun. And really where the paddle shifters come into play or shifting manually, it's just, you can really control this transmission. That's one thing I like about it. Now in the auto mode, it's decent, but in the sport mode, it had to figure out what gear to be in. And like when I manually shift, just boom, boom, boom. So really, really fun to drive. And I just love the sound. It just has such a sporty sound. And if you want to drive it like that, because you want to be loud, you can do that too. See these downshifts. Now it's still not a stick, so you don't have full control, but it's good enough. And I will say, and I've driven a TRD in the past, the ride is specifically stiff, but not at all uncomfortable, because this is how I want a sports car to feel. And I mean, I'm pushing 301 horsepower with this car. Really good look. Just exterior aesthetics. Love the spoiler, the rear diffuser, and then having that front bottom spoiler. It just looks so aggressive. But I also like its subtleties as well. If you know cars, you'd be like, dang, that's a TRD. But if you don't, it's not attracting unwanted attention. Like if you're in a Mustang or something, but it's still relatively fast. Because all the Toyota V6s and the Camrys are pretty fast anyways. But the big thing for me is just how nice and just refined the engine and exhaust sound is. Like, it's not an aftermarket sound, but it still sounds like a premium sports car. And really just like with the stiffer drive feel, I took two other 23 Camrys, an SE and an LE, on the same road, and the ride was not nearly as refined. Now it was smoother, but still, this TRD it's just smooth and stiff at the same time. It's kind of hard to explain, but I can feel everything in the steering wheel, which is what I want, especially in the sport mode. Just being able to feel the road. I feel like I could take this thing on a track and do just fine. So very impressed. And another thing, this is one of those cars where, because the exhaust and engine sound so good, you really just want to put your foot in it at all times. So it's nice to have that eco mode there to kind of keep you at bay, because if you put it in sport mode, you're gonna want to go. And really, it's strange, the noise from the tires is not bad at all. Like, I feel like it feels the same as those other two Camrys I just drove. It could all be in my head, but it's definitely not bothering me at all. And now you do get a brake hold, but I don't think you get auto stop with this. But just really quick on his feet. And let's give this thing some throttle. Yeah, this thing pulls, man. It pulls really, really well. I'm gonna put it into eco mode now. Put the lane tracing and everything on. And another thing I like about Toyota's safety sense is the lane tracing comes on very quickly, and it tends not to be buggy in the least. I know I have a Mustang Mach-E, and with the lane centering on that, a lot of the times it'll just be like, I don't want to work right now. And this just doesn't have that issue, at least not that I'm aware of. And let me just say, even with the stiffer ride, I'm so impressed with how the ride is not overly rough. Like, coming down the interstate here, this feels really, really nice. And that exhaust just sounds so good. But overall, for this kind of car, I think you have to be in the market for something that's got the Toyota reliability, no turbo, just a naturally aspirated V6 that's still kind of fun to drive, because it's not cheap for this. As opposed to getting an LE Camry, you're gonna spend quite a bit more. But I mean, it's still, if somebody gave me one, I'd have a great time. It can be a bit pricey for a Camry though. And it's really not, it's not like super money or something like that, but it's still expensive for, you know, what people consider to be a commuter car, a very good commuter car with decades of experience. But like I said, you have to have the right buyer for this, because me personally, I love the car. There are just other options out there if you want something sporty. You kind of have to be a hybrid. It's kind of weird. You gotta want something that's flashy, that's relatively fast, but also practical, and it's not necessarily a head turner like maybe a Supra would be, or a Camaro, or something along those lines. But still, just a really, for a Camry, it does some damage. It really does. This thing is no slouch. And just very impressed all the way around how easy it is to drive, how fun it is to drive, but also with how capable it is for this segment. That exhaust, oh, sounds so good. But definitely for me, I mean, it's a Camry, but honestly, for how it drives, how it sounds, just a great option. And this will bring me to the end of my review of the 2023 Toyota Camry TRD.